Alright, let's just make sure I've got the right settings up here. Just bear with me here. Because normally I use this OBS for Twitch. But anyway, there's a few of you here already. Let me just try and get this chat working here. See if I can get it up. Text. Oh, never mind. Fuck it. All right. I'm not going to be able to keep up with you guys in live chat, so just bear with me here. Yeah, I'll just close that so I can sort of see it. All right. Welcome to 2024. The livery roast and toast, I guess. We're just going to get straight into it here. I'll just make sure I got my graphics turned up here just to make sure it's all crisp for you guys. I did want to do this earlier, but I just ran out of time. So here we are, 2024 DVS, and we're going to launch straight in with the Ford Mustangs. We'll start with Super 2 and then go to Super 3. All right, so we're coming in hot, and fuck me, what is this? What is this? This is fucking Pixels R Us right here. Now, the CRE dev, that's just the downscaling, but this shit here was seen on the CRE cars last year. This was even repainted, and you'll see this later on. This livery was even repainted in 8K, I think, from Rossi in for the Camaro and for the other Gen 3 Mustang, and it was pixelated as fuck. This is on the car last year, these pixels on both sides. That should not happen because it's so easy to just get the pen tool and just run a straight line, bang, 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 and it not be completely pixelated even when it's downscaled. So minus points for that. The other logos on the side, yeah, you know, you've left space for the banners, which for me is always nice. These logos here are okay, but the Authentics, it's on an angle, it's difficult to look at. The Ford logo on the sides here, in an awkward position as well, and I don't know if that's the right aspect ratio for that logo. So yeah, just awkward. The other logos around the car are okay, although the monster truck promotions on the inside end fences of the wing, that's an F. It should not be clipping. I want to see Hayden try and wrap that in real life, and yeah, like make it smaller. It doesn't need to be there. And then you got this stuff, the PPG like clipping underneath where the camera goes in here. Just a no. Move the PPG down. Make the series develop smaller. And then of course we go to the front where once again we are greeted with pixels again, straight, just pen tool, bang, bang, done, like, and it's crisp. Rest of it, fine. Another thing I noticed as well is that the colors on the skirts, this maroon, if you look at it in the light, it's that color, and you look at it at the front, even in the lighting on the splitter, it's a different shade. So yeah. No good. Another thing as well, the BCF here, probably a little bit too big. I want to make it just a smidge smaller. It's a little bit too big. But rest of that is okay. All right, we go to the Morel car. Again, largely the same, except with different sponsors on it. And again, pixels. Rest of the logos, the CUNT fits, and it's actually something that's difficult to do, and some people mess up quite a bit. This one's pretty close, although it's slightly out just down here, if you can see it. It doesn't quite match the line, but it's close enough that you don't notice. So that's actually not too bad. What is bad though, the NT logo, that's too big. It doesn't quite fit, and obviously that part on this Mustang template does get warped a bit. And then again, the PPG here, thankfully hasn't got logos on the inside of the end fences. I think there's an Aftershock logo. Probably want to make that a little bit smaller. Yeah, not too bad, but actually, that Logitech, make it flat. Why have you arched that? Make it bigger. Make it wider. And move the Logitech G down just a smidge as well. But anyway, that's that one. Slightly better than the 22. Now we're going to move on to Flying Solo. And from the side, I like it, particularly the back. But then you work your way forward, and this bit here just doesn't work. Maybe even been better off just running that line just straight down. Now you can see along the little guard here, I'm not going to criticize for that because this Mustang template, especially in this part of the car, is completely wrecked. So, and you can see it on the other side here. It's almost impossible to paint. So, like these little things here on the Mustang, at least, on the Gen 2 Mustang, I'm not going to be overly harsh on because I know that it's something that probably needs to be fixed down the line. Now, the Beyond logo is crisp. Problem is, let me see. Can you guys read it from a front-on shot from down the track? No. So that needs to be moved lower. It needs to be either right in the middle of the bonnet or it needs to be underneath the bonnet pins down here. Thankfully, it hasn't gone oversized on the Nerf on the front here. That's all right. An NVIDIA on the front. Sorry, I keep flicking it by accident here. That's all right. The right size. Pretty bland on the headlights. Could have gone some orange headlights. Would have been all right. I would have put some more logos on it, personally. I know, obviously, maybe you just want to keep with affiliated logos, but like it just looks bare. It does look like an actual real-life Super 2 livery in that aspect. But yeah, look, side of it, it's all right. The back is a bit bland. Like, even see along these bottom lips here? If you had to maybe add that orange or even white in there, it would have looked all right. But it's just boring. And then, yeah, just needs something else in there. The front needs a bit of work. All right, on to the next one. Full throttle band. It's Keenan Sykes. Obviously, recreation of the old Mazdas. I can't remember. That was a bit before my time. I was only like 2 years old at the time, and these were out on the track. If I was even born, actually, I can't remember. Pretty solid recreation, I have to say. I do like it. The only sort of issues I have with it are the NGK. Well, the NGK is not too bad, but the Ray's engineering down here. Like, I know you're probably trying to recreate what was on the actual car, but when you're putting like logos from, say, another car and you're trying to recreate it and put it on another, sometimes you have to take some like liberties with it. Probably would have been a better idea to keep the NGK sort of in line with the Charger Mustang logo. So say put it like here and then move the Rays like in the middle there, and it would have fit better. Instead, you've got the Rays just coming over the door sill and the skirt down here, and it just looks awkward. You could have even spread it out. So you could have maybe moved the Charged Mustang up here, leave the NGK in the middle, and then put the Rays over here. The login logo, most companies allow you to use like a white logo. I would have used white in this situation. Probably blue on the real life car, but having it white would have made it easy. See, you come from out here, you can't read it, and it doesn't stand out either. Sort of, you see something blue, but you don't know what it is. But the livery as a whole is pretty good. Obviously, it was sent in with some pretty crazy alpha layer on the rims, and what's this? Oh no, someone's fucked up here. Oops. We've all done that, but anyway, the Dunlop, obviously that's Probably not a bad size. I'd probably make it a little bit smaller, but again, the problem with this Mustang sort of template is it does get warped a bit. So putting logos there on this car is pretty difficult. But for the most part, I do like it. Even got the names on the roofs and everything. The alpha layer on the banner I would have made matte. But not too bad. A little bit bland on the back here. Could have probably put some more like another logo here, or even the name or something, or number. Because at the back it does look bare. Same on the rear wing as well. And the Mustang, I would have had that white. Would have been easy to see. Would have stand out more and blended well with the car. Same with back here. This Mustang stuff here, a bit warped and stuff. It's just out of place. But yeah, not too bad. And I'm pretty sure the other car is very similar. Let me just see. Are they an invert? No, they're the same. So copy paste essentially. Yeah, not a bad recreation. Just a couple of tidbits here and there. It could have been a little bit different, a little bit better. On the Luke McHugh cars. I've always been a fan of the sides of these cars that Dosselas ran, and then it always gets to the front and you're like, that could have been so much better. So painting the headlights like this, like it seems clever at the time, but then you look at it from other angles and it just looks weird. So yeah, that could have been done a little bit better. Obviously, you've got this notch here that you've forgotten to paint. Same on the other side. The new Castrol logo, I hate it, so I'm biased against it. It can go in a bin. So minus points for using the new Castrol logo. The fuck cancer on the front you can't see because it's white and yellow with a black outline. And Pertec probably wouldn't have been too happy to put a black outline around the Pertec stuff there, but it's not too bad. On the sides it's clean. The back, it's not too bad as well. It's got nice amount of logos on there, but probably would have resized the IMB logos because as you can see it's a little bit warped down here and it does look a little bit too big. Same with the Super Cheap, could have made that just a smidge smaller. As you can see, much better logo sizes on the end plates on the inside as what we saw earlier. Nice little touch of SES there on the wing. And again, the banners were sent in with a completely shiny alpha layer, so there's definitely lost points for that as well. So yeah, like if I was going to make, personally, my idea of what I'd do with something like this is that almost I'd continue the lines of the sort of the Pertec sort of logos up here. And as you've got it blue, you continue that on down there all the way to the skirt, or you angle it in a way that it goes to the edge of the car. And same with on the roof, similar thing. And then on the front, you could do it similar to how they did it in the Ambrose sort of cars. Although maybe a bit reverse, because I'm not the biggest fan of sort of how this sort of flows up and over the wheel arches and back down again, and then you got this here. But that's probably me just being a bit nitpicky. Over to the 77. I've also fixed the rims on that car because it had, again, an alpha layer that was completely chrome, so you couldn't actually see it, and it was also mip-map wrong, so I fixed that. This is obviously a recreation of, I believe, the 2012 or 13 Shane Van Gisbergen. It would have been 2012 or 11, actually. Shane Van Gisbergen Stone Brothers car. I do like it. For the most part, there is a couple little nitpicks that could be fixed up. So again, the IMB on the back, probably make it a little bit smaller, but my biggest one is the outline around the Ultimate. Just make that all white. Don't have the stroke around it. It's not needed on a backing like that. And then the white around the Pertec. No, don't do that. Don't do that. The rest of it, I'd probably make the BP Ultimate on the front a bit smaller, the Tackle World just a little bit smaller. I don't mind the touch of the Castrol over the wheel arches. It's done better here than what it is on the other one. Problem is, it's the old Castrol logo. Or is it? Yeah, it's the new Castrol logo, so it can go in a bin. But yeah, not too bad. I do like this one, if I'm being honest. But again, shiny fucking banners. Please fix the alpha layers next time you submit a livery. Oh yeah, three camping and fishing stores. Oh yeah, let's go and find them, eh? Because I remember this being a problem on it was Ben Hall's liveries, I think, last year. So we got Tackle World. We've got BCF. And what's the other one? I'm probably missing it here. Is it, camping and fishing. I guess Bunnings sort of count in a way. Sorta? I don't know. Or is it Kings? Oh, they do Springs. I don't know. I'm not up to it. Like, oh, actually, hold on. I've found something else. It's along here. Make the night smaller. It doesn't need to be that big. You just want to make it small enough that when a car's behind it, or you got a tracking shot in behind, that you can see a gap to the top and you can see a gap to the bottom and you can clearly read what's there. So I would, and it's probably a little bit too close to the edges as well. Just make it smaller. Just scale it by like 85-90% all around. Bunnings, SCA, and competitors. That is true. Yeah. Yeah, that is a common theme from a few people. They got Bunnings and SCA and all that on their cars. Let me just double check. ECF, big mate. Yeah, super cheap. Yeah, that's right. Yep. Yeah, you're right. Oh dear. That's another big no-no. You can't do that. When you think about putting sponsors on your car and logos on your car, guys, like, think, is that in competition with another logo I want to put on the car? Because it makes no sense to have, like, say, BP on one side and then have Ampol or something like that on the other, or in this case BCF and Tackle World on there. All right, let's go to the paint doctor now, because this is already running pretty quick. Again, it's an improvement in a way over the last year's one because there's more color on it. But I've got to say, I don't think if I was Cameron Rutledge, I know he's pretty free with the colors that his logos have, but like that color, that's not CRE. Again, because it's using the CRE front, pixels. Let's have a look at them. Just terrible. And then you've got all this stuff along the edge of the roof here. It doesn't need, like, there is an alternate version of this logo, I swear, or if not, you could create it, where the CRE remains blue and you can have the Cam Rutledge in like a dark grey or black. So yeah, the positioning on that's bad, as well as obviously all the stuff that's going on there. The tradie as well is pretty stuffed, and then you've got this stuff up here as well. It could be touched up. Again, you've got pixels all over the side here. This design should have just kept on. I know it's similar. I'm pretty sure it's the same base as the SP Tools car. You should have just kept it. Like this little bit down here looks silly. This how the line just stops. So if we go to previous car, I'm pretty sure it's the same base, or it was a similar base. So yeah, it should have just kept it along the same line. And instead, it's just stopped in the middle of nowhere with nothing underneath it for no reason, and it just looks silly. Obviously, I know there's a bit of warping on the skirting, but you can't help it sometimes with the way some of the cars are. Probably a bit bare as well in parts. And then again, you got a different color CRE logo back here. You got the PPG again. This wasn't checked at all from the earlier Ben Hall cars or CRE cars up here. And that paint Doctor logo could probably be a little bit bigger as well. The Callaghan, again, make that just a little bit smaller so it fits a little bit better. Same on the top. Yeah, from the front it's not terrible, but and you can tell that like these lines were done differently to these copy paste jobs or color picked. Yeah, and again, like if you're gonna have a logo on the bonnet up here, like, move it down. You can't see it from a shot like this. You're just seeing the bottom end of the logo. You got to move it down. So yeah, that one could definitely be a bit better. And then put a logo over here. It just looks bare. It looks like a really badly done, cheap real life Super 2 livery. And this one looks like it's just the inverted version. From the front, I actually like the black and blue like that. That actually looks better. But then it's ruined by the same CRE logo, and then this yellow, orange, gold just doesn't suit it on the side. And then you've just got this big blob of it on the back. And then you just got bare white everywhere as well. Like, put something on that massive end fence on the Mustang. Like, it's huge. And yeah, again, the same criticisms with obviously all the pixels and stuff like that as well. All right, on to the next one. Onto the palette controls. Completely matte. You want to have some kind of reflection, but there isn't. So that, and it's also completely black, which again, that's a big no-no. So I'm not the biggest fan of having a completely matte car and then having just, well, pitch black anyway. If there's some reflection on it, it can work, but like when it's matte as well, not so much. Actual base design of it on the side isn't too bad, but then you've got the, I don't know, the fire or the flame or the fake gold effect or whatever it's meant to be here, and it just doesn't work. It's just too blurred and stuff like that. Like if you made that like reflective and like chrome kind of thing, it probably wouldn't be so bad. But it just being completely matte, just nah, it just looks lazy. And you got this here, so you got the number plate area, and you've made the C7 just too big. Again, just make it smaller. It doesn't need to be that big. Quick access, that's fine. And again, you see in the rear wing, just all black. And then you just got bare. You just got bare areas as well. And then you've got all this work done here on the sides, and then there's nothing here in like the bottom skirt on the bumper, like down here. Like if you could have continued that on and it would have been okay. Instead it just looks like, oh shit, we've got to get it finished, which it probably was, to be fair, because I know we submitted very late. But it just looks like, oh, like I've done the sides, I'm finished, and then this bit's just an afterthought. The bonnet, you've got all this work done here, and then you had it's one of those ones where it actually needed to be continued along the edge of the bonnet, because now you like the bonnet on the Mustang is quite big, and it's just a big blob of black with, you know, the attempt of racing stripes, which I'll be honest look quite bad. I mean, if you had just had no outlines around this and those colors, or if you had it white or something, it may have worked. But yeah, like the red in there with the gold stuff, just no go. And then surely you could have used a higher res version of Physio Fit font as well. Like that's just average. The Ford badge, that I don't think that's the original one on the car, so that's been changed and just looks woeful. The Kempi, I would have moved. It needs to be more central. I know it's a bit warped there, but like it's just too close to a little bit too close to the front. Yeah, like a little bit more effort, and this actually could have been all right, but it's just, and it didn't have headlights either. It's just completely blank and no banner, which do take away from the livery. Like a yellow banner here with, you know, Physio Fit or PCS or something, like would have been okay, or even a white one. Like, it doesn't matter. Instead, you just got ASR. Then this looks bad. On to the next one. I think it's just it's the same base but red with PCS on the front. And again, like, that actually needed to be arched down a little bit. And if you're going to do that, you might as well. There's the other car for a second. You almost would have been better off using that full wide logo and putting along the front instead of just putting PCS. Like, it just doesn't fit. It doesn't look right. It looks bare. And then again, like, it's a little bit less complicated here with the racing stripes down the middle, but like, the colors just don't work, and it's too close together and stuff like that. Like, if that had been all white, I think it would have worked a little bit better as well. But that's me. The Umbrella Corporation logos, again, make them more central, a little bit too close to the front, and just put some more logos on this thing. It's just bare as fuck. And then, yeah, the PCS on the rear here over everything. You're lucky it's painted all black because you can't quite see all the outline of the number plates. It's onto the diffuser. It's onto the boot. Just use the proper logo. Don't chop it. The proper logo made smaller into the cavity for the number plates. So it would have been all right. And then you got the Umbrella Corp logo again, just straight over the top of the camera. The camera can't see anything. This is what the broadcast looking back would look like. You got that. And we see the back of Steve Burko. Oh, he's been rear-ended, but we can't see that because we've got something in the way. Those saying the gold wing, I think that's deliberate because it's got a C7 there. I'll give them that. I'll give them that, all right? But again, I mean, like, this base on the side here, it's good. It just needed to be finished. And sort of, it needed to marry up with the front of the car a little bit more. And then, yeah, the sort of white on the front here, it needed to stop here, not over here. Yeah. All right, let's go to SES Team Vic. And Tony Green. I don't mind this. It's simple. Again, they've cut out all the bonnet, so there's a little bit of color on the side. You can tell these guys have done something in real life with regards to liveries. You got something to break up the front with the color on behind the grille there. And they haven't gone and used an oversized logo on the bar to compensate either. Obviously, probably a little bit of minus points for the Autobahn being chopped up there, but I know that part of the template it's separate, I'm pretty sure, from memory, to the front. So you could maybe move that down, and then the Castrol up here, you probably need to move that down again, because the only time you'd see it is from roof cam. So maybe for those painting this car going forward, if you're going to have a logo up here, point it the other way so it faces the roof cam, because you're not going to see it really from the front or from like the sides. It needs to be like an upper view looking to the front of the car. Cervical cancer awareness, yeah, it's interesting placement. You don't see too many logos there. So you've done well here to not get it too badly artifacting on the other side, but again, that area is a bit fucked. But it's not going over the sides or anything like that. It's centrally placed. Logitech's in a nice spot as well. It's not in that warped zone right above the wheel arch. It's a little bit further back. Autobahn, it hasn't got stuff close, too close to it to sort of cramp it. Lifeline's in a nice spot as well. All these logos at the back are probably the right sizing. Again, a bit of warping down here, but the logo itself size is okay, because sometimes they can be too big or small. The Make-A-Wish, not bad. Yeah, that's not a bad size. Probably move the Autobahn on the back down maybe like 2-3 pixels maybe, but like that's a nothing right there. But that's not bad. I just wish that it had the old Autobahn colors, but that's on Autobahn for changing their colors. I liked it when it was more of a richer, goldier kind of yellow as opposed to the brighter or straight yellow. But like the base design on it is clean. You got the fired detailing on the side there, and yeah, it's not bad. And they've placed the up "Are you okay?" bit in a spot where you can sort of see it as well. So just clean. One of the better liveries. The only knock I do have is the rims were submitted with an alpha layer that was no good. But other than that, it's clean. The other sister car is the same base design from memory. Sorry, I was just looking at some stuff there. Yep, this is in obviously super cheap colors this time around. I was submitted a version of this that I think the super cheap text was in red, I think from memory, which I wasn't a fan of. This is a bit better. The Moser racing can be difficult to see because of the shadowing and stuff like that, but again, it's not too bad. Super cheap on the bonnet. In the red, that was what I was talking about when it was red. It's from a distance can be difficult to read, but they're also rival brands, so I don't know how this obviously doing it for a bit of a meme. Rival, you know, they're teammates, they're driving the same team, but they're got rival sponsors on the car. But yeah, again, for the most part, it's mainly the same, but in super cheap colors. Being super cheap though, I'm pretty sure they'd be unhappy that like the base wasn't just red. So there's probably too much black on it for them. But as a livery, you know, it's not too bad. The only gripes I have with it, again, banners, rims, need to be, you know, matte or not chrome. And then the super cheap red font on black is difficult. All right, sideways. ACS Aussie. Now, people are going to hate this. People are going to love this. I don't mind having a crack at these kinds of colors. The side base design isn't too bad. Probably would have made this black bit just a little bit wider. And then you've got a little bit of pink shit down here, but I think that's more again down to the actual sort of way the car was made. Not so much the paint. I think maybe would have had "Are you okay?" in white. Would have been maybe a little bit more difficult to read, but you could have made the pink a little bit darker. Maybe, I don't know. The purple on black on the Prime Logistics, it does get drowned out a bit from a distance. So maybe next time, like just use all white logo or something like that to make it easy to see, because you can sort of see the Prime Logistics does get drowned out a bit. Probably would have. Only things with the colors I would have maybe done different is having maybe a little bit more of a vibrant blue, and I would have transitioned it a little bit longer, like maybe added another transition point. But it's not bad. I don't mind it. I know some of the colors are a bit gaudy for some people, but it's not too bad. Thankfully, the banners were done properly. The rims. The black bit's fine. The green's interesting, and the I know this does feature on another car as well. The fade and transition on the outer rim is interesting. Not the biggest fan though of these logos here. Just the sizing of them. The positioning of them is probably fine. They're just a little bit too big. So they probably need to be, I don't know, 75% or something of the sizes, and then you could even move them a little bit closer together again. And what am I seeing here? Mac and Isuzu and Truck Assist. Yeah, again, you got a lot of rival brands on there. I don't know if that's a meme or if that's just oversight. Pardon me. Logos here on the... Oh, actually, no. You needed to... This one needs to be a little bit smaller. So you'd need to make this smaller, and you'd need to just move them both down. Come on, guys. You've got to check this. Again, you've got the clipping, or... Well, not so much clipping, but you got the lettering and stuff on the rear wing going over the lip and over the gurney flap. And then the G Fuel on the rear wing here in black. Black on pink. It's difficult to read sometimes, depending on how it's done. So, and obviously that Gamma Labs is how that font is, I would imagine. I don't know, I've never heard of the company. Just awkward positioning. Maybe move that bit a little bit lower, move that bit just a smidge lower as well, and it would have been better. It's a blue pixel on the left-hand side of the bar. Ah, yes, we've got more of this around the headlights here. Oh, yeah, okay, it doesn't line up. Oh dear. Yeah, you got to really double check these edges sometimes here. This isn't on me downsizing, this is on you guys just missing the lines a little bit. So this one here, he would have gone along and tried to follow the edge underneath here, like so, all the way to the lip of the grill. And then on the other side, he would have mixed it up on, well, I'm assuming he used the wireframe, and he would have accidentally gone down one rung too many on the wireframe, and it's gone straight across there. So, oops. And then on the rear bar, what was this? Left-hand side here. Ah, yes, there is too. Yeah. Some people just need to double check, and it's on the right side as well, because that part mirrors, I think. So, yeah, oops. So little tidbits here and there. Forgive me for skipping over some of these cars because it is starting to get late and I didn't want to stay up too late, but I did want to do this. Props to actually having a crack at, painting a helmet and stuff. Certainly not the most gaudy out there, and I'm not going to give people too many negative marks for having a crack. Maybe would have chosen some more subtle colours, or at least if I'm going to use those colours, use it in less of a slab-like form, but still, it's good to see people out there having a crack with that stuff because it does add nice personalization. There's a lot of cars this year in both series that I'm actually quite disappointed they haven't even had a crack. It's just a blank ASR helmet. Alright, I'm just going to move on to the next one, running out of time here. Same base design, by the look of it, just different colours. Something easy to do on the Mustang when you have these lines running down the middle. You don't marry it up to the front bar. So, no good there. In real life, you'd go straight over, but it hasn't quite happened there. Another problem is that they forgot to take into account that there's going to be, for the Dev Series, these banners on the roof. It was done in previous years, and they forgot to account for it here. So, panoramic graphics is anoramic graphic, essentially. I do like the colours on it, on the sides, but the rims sort of got that McLaren sort of Google Chrome look to them. And I don't like them on the McLaren, and I don't particularly like it on this either. I would have picked whatever the main dominant colour you wanted. So you got the pink up here, you could have used that on the rim instead, or even the orange. I believe in the Gen 3 cars, I haven't painted the rims, but I'm pretty sure you can actually paint each individual one, which probably would have been handy in this case, because I'm sure you would have wanted to paint maybe that one pink and that one orange. I don't think I would have liked it, but you got that. One thing I forgot to mention on the other car, these little notch down here with the white, I actually did like the little notch where you could put a little logo there. That's pretty cool. And it also flows with the livery as well, albeit it doesn't really marry up with the side here. But it's filled out nicely with logos and sponsors. A little bit better with the sizing here on the front bar, on the edges here, but and probably just needs to be made a little bit smaller. The Diabetes Awareness logo, again, probably just needs to be dragged down a little bit so you can see it. It looks sensual. It is sensual on the template and stuff like that, but it's not something that you can see, so it just needs to be, you just need to move the bottom of this to just above the bonnet pins. I do like the end fences in pink, not so much the drop box in black, and it being too low, that's just got a bit dragged up. I'm starting to see more drivers with P plates on there. Some people need to put maybe L plates or D plates for driving like idiots. SES logo here probably needs to be squeezed over just a little bit, and this seems to be problematic down here. Seems to be an area where there's a bit of warping taking place. It also doesn't look like it lines up with the other side, so the outside of the Bathurst Motor Group logo here, it sort of lines up with the edge of the light. Well, over here, it's a little bit further over. At least it looks like it. So maybe make those smaller next time and just move them over a smidge. And you got that in white this time. It's a lot easier to see. But yeah, for the most part, pretty good. But yeah, there's some things on that probably need to be improved just a smidge. All right, fuck, we've got a long way to go. All right, over the ZBs now. And straight to Air New Zealand and beyond here. Now, the base design of this livery I like, and the colours for the most part I like. The only problem is like the fade. I would have gone for a richer, deeper colour on the front. I do like the white on the skirting and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just this sort of purpley bluey colour on the front. It's just odd. It makes you look at it and just sort of, what? And then the Beyond, move that further down so you can see it. The Beyond badge, I'd make that a bit smaller as well. The paste down here, I'd make that white so you can see it. And the same, like, I like that they've sort of curved the Scott Electrical here on the front, and they're probably rival brands, but it's probably personal friends, so I'm not going to begrudge that. Unlike putting Super Cheap and Autobahn or something, or 5 different fishing companies on your car. I would have made this smaller because it's a little bit too close to each edge. And it looks a little bit fat just in the middle there. So if you made that a little bit smaller, it'd be cool. Again, nice sponsoring and stuff on the sides with the Air New Zealand. One thing they did do is they put, I'm guessing they use it as a sort of base template with the Smith & Sons and the Repco and ASR. Well, yeah, I can't remember if there was 2 ASR logos, but there was the Repco Supercars logo on there. Which they didn't take off, and same with the Smith & Sons, so that's what they're there for. And then, yeah, again, a little bit of a dull blue on the back, but the base design of this I do like. And then maybe would have inverted the banner. I would have had that white and then had like the blue font for the Fern and the Beyond Racing, but for the most part, pretty good. Got the Warriors logos here. Up the wires. Yeah, not too bad. And then again, the thrust is not too big. It's in a position where it's not hiding underneath and it's not touching the top. And it's with the rear wing on the top though, you probably actually want to move it a little bit higher up so it can sort of be seen. And again, one of the few drivers does have their own sort of custom helmet, which is good. Yeah, not too bad. There's just a couple little missteps there. Obviously, I'm never a fan of these being left default, but you know, it's all right. Onto the sister car. This one, the color choice with the white and the red is nice. I don't know if it was meant to be black or if it just or if it was intentional, but it sort of comes off as brown, and in brown it doesn't look great. Like if that was black, it would have, you know, a lot of Dale Earnhardt vibes about it, and it actually looked really cool. The snap-on in red as well. White would look a lot better there. The thrustmaster on the lip as well needs to be smaller, and the slightly changed up styling on the front doesn't quite work either. I'm not really the biggest fan of what goes on here because it's sort of not even as well. But again, like the base design of it's nice. It's just needed to not be brown. If it was black like that, you know, you could paint a number 3 on the side and like it wouldn't be out of place. In sort of NASCAR, but yeah, I do like the base designs. Again, custom helmet, just different, same as the other one, just different colors. Again, that's better than, you know, having default. All right, onto the Black Shores Gyms cars, the Liquid Death mobiles. I'm a big fan of these. I don't know if you got the chroming effect on the skulls. It's simple on the sides. You're not doing anything, you know, over the top. You got the, you know, the simple skirt painted. Logos are in appropriate positions, appropriate sizes. Maybe the Warwick Creative could be a little bit smaller, but still, it's placed in the right spot, so it still works. It's just a nice, clean car. The only really difficult thing is sort of Liquid Death on the front, when it goes to the black section. Maybe needed to have the stroke a little bit bigger. But that's, you know, that's pretty much the only major gripe with it. Obviously, pixelation here on the canteen stuff. I like the white side more than the black side. It's going to sound a bit racist, but but no, it's I do like it. And then the sister car, centered down the middle of the car. Oh, let's have a look. It's hard to say. Maybe on the rear? I'd need to get the wireframe out. It's close enough. Left end plate. Yeah, they did leave the banners on this car, which I was a bit annoyed about, and as you can see on the roof, it still has the one from last year for the, do not change, and it was told for people to take them off. So I was a bit annoyed with that, and I did have to, I'm pretty sure I also had to go over the badges that was there. Gold looks big on the other side than the other. Pardon me. I don't know what you're on about there. Like, it could also be an optical illusion, because when this white side, when you're looking at it, the chroming effect on the skull and on the skirting sort of hides, while on the black side you can see it the whole time. So it just looks bigger. But they're sort of minor gripes. I'm more annoyed with the banner shit than anything. Alright, the other car I believe is just inverted, and obviously it's got more Blackshaws on it. So it's... Oh yeah, that's right, yep. So it's got the blue for Blackshaws on it. I don't like this one as much. The blue doesn't quite work, and obviously he's forgotten to change the grille. So... yeah, and again, that gold line looks straight down the middle. There's a little bit down here, but like that's still pretty damn close. Yeah, the grill's no good on that one. And then the blue just doesn't suit the Liquid Death as much as the black. So, yeah. Not as good as the black version. Alright, on to North-South Racing. These cars have the same base livery. Not sure if KFC would like there being so much black on the car. And I'm not sure if Milwaukee would like to be on the black part of the car either, because they want to be on the red. But look, the base design of it's nice. It's simple. Done something a little bit different on the front there. Again, I don't know if KFC would be too happy being on black. And it probably needed to be arched downwards to sort of not give it the upward arch look. Probably make the panorama graphics a little bit smaller. Same with the lifeline on the front. But again, it's not too bad. Just want to make sure here. You've got... oh, for fuck's sake, guys. Come on. Puma and Sparko, what are you doing? I'm big on this. Stop. You should just put McDonald's on the car if you're going to do that as well. The base design is great. That's just a... yeah. Sparko, Puma, they do make different kind of... they do make racing equipment, both of them. So, yeah, I don't think either of those would be too happy. But again... not too bad. Could be better. Could be like with more so with the logos than anything. But yeah, the other one, prepare for green. And this Make-A-Wish and Puma stuff, I'd have this in white. Have this in white as well, just easy to see. Yeah, and that 2013 Bodlo car was garbage as well. So it's null and void. Again, got the Sparko Puma stuff going on. Again, not too bad a base. A couple of the logo colors could have been a little bit better to make it easy to see. But, yep, nice and pretty clean. Not bad. Onto the Stewart McNichol Mobile. Shades. This car has shades of the old Wendy's Mercedes. Yes, you heard me, Rossi. Shades of the old Wendy's Mobile. Maybe a little bit too black dominant, but I don't mind it. Maybe a little bit overdone with some logos here and there. The Penrite stuff is a bit overdone, but you can tell Roadie's had a hand in it because it's got obviously Penrite on it. Not too bad. Again, probably would have had these logos in white just to stand out a little bit more, just like they've done here. The yellow on the rear wing and the banner is actually, it's a bit different. It actually stands out and sort of works a bit. So yeah, not too bad. I don't mind this. And it's different. It's a little bit more left field than regular liveries. Rhodey wishes he got a commission. That's why he keeps putting him on there. He's hoping. All right, so we've got the 1 millionth SES car. Don't worry, we've got a million more to go. Again, clean, basic design. Let me just turn the AC off. I don't mind it, although, guys, there's banners that go on the roofs. So you should probably sort that out. Other than that, it's not really too much to say. Pretty clean. Sorry. Pretty clean. Again, the panoramic Galaxy SES on the front probably need to be resized. But yeah. Nothing much else to say. For fuck's sake. Alright, on to the next one. And it's, again, just the same car, but in orange. The colors they've picked actually suit having a white base with black. So there's big ups for that because it's quite easy for people to just choose the wrong color trim. So again, not the most complicated liveries, but you don't need it. Nice and clean, not bad. I do like these. It's just, yeah, just the numbers up here and probably moving the Cytos Esports bit up a little bit on the rear wing. And obviously the front logo's here, but no, they're not too bad. All right, now we're on to everybody's favourite Super 3s. Matt Cecil. Not bad, not a bad design. Although the Petter's suspension and brakes with yellow background is not ideal. Probably make the ASICs on the back here just a little bit smaller because they do look a little bit like the ASICs font itself looks too tall. Like it doesn't look like the aspect ratio of the font is the right size. It could be, but it just doesn't look that way. Could probably make the ASICs here a little bit smaller as well, and it got a black stroke around it, which you didn't need. You don't need to put a black stroke around that. Just make that white. Because it's not transitioning between two different colors or anything like that. The front design here is okay up until you get to this bit underneath the lights. Probably would have made these lines smaller, these big yellow lines, and then just ran it to the headlights and stopped. Similar to how it is on the previous cars we looked at. And then I wouldn't have had this down here. Because it just looks, I don't know, it just looks a little bit cumbersome and sort of not wonky, but just not quite right. But again, rear wing Cecil could have. You got to make that smaller. If you can't see the bottom from like this angle, if you can't see the bottom of the font or the logo, it's too big. So the top of it's probably, you could probably move it up a little bit, but then you need to make it smaller on the bottom. You need to bring it up. And yeah, the one on the top of the rear wing definitely needs to be made smaller. It's clipping on the top and the bottom. And then yeah, you got the 23 down here where the ASR logo always is. So that needed to be moved up because that ASR logo, guess what? It's not going anywhere on any liveries that have been put out for the Dev Series or Supercars Championship. So don't put anything there. So yeah, that's a bit silly. Now Spear, he's pulled out of the championship because he's going to race some supports. Again, this along here, you got to resize the logo. You use the Castrol needs to be made smaller. Also need to use the old Castrol logo. Yes, I know it's just a logo, but the fucking new one is shit and needs to be burnt. Whoever designed it needs to be literally just put into a wood chipper. The genetics nutrition needs to be made smaller because it's clipping at the top and it's going over the bottom. Probably, like, I know it's central on the bonnet, but again, you're looking at it from the front. You want to see the genetics nutrition and probably move that down a bit. Yeah, we've got 3 different shades of red. So you've got the super cheap red on the rear wing end fences, which again, the super cheap logo probably needs to be made a little bit smaller to make it fit better. And then you've got the bit where the nutrition warehouse is. And then you've got the Ryko red on the banner and on the and on the mirrors there. I think we're on the bottom. You can't read red on blue. Especially different shades of blue and lighter blue. So you got 50 shades of red. The base design of it, I don't mind. Although I probably should have continued this little these blue. I probably would have continued that onto the skirt or something like that instead of just cutting it off there. And then this whole white bit over the back here, like. It doesn't really fit. Maybe like if you're gonna have this line here, maybe continue it along the archway up here, so there's some continuity with the livery, and then you can have all the back white, or even have it in like this X kind of style. I don't know, but yeah, the front half's okay, and then the rear and the 50 shades of red just sort of ruin it a bit, and then. Another one, like, come on, guys! It's 2024. Like, everybody paints or puts a sponsor on the headlights. Like, blank headlights on this thing completely ruin it. You could have put another shade. You could have put another shade of red. Put Ferrari red on there. Put scarlet or something. Because I wouldn't suggest that on this livery. But yeah, like blank headlights are just lame. TD VS Logitech Racing. This is a livery that doesn't know what to do with itself. So you've got the Logitech here on the side, yeah, that's all fine. That shade of blue's okay, and then you've got this bit along the back here, which in isolation is okay, but then you've got this coming across the front. Like it doesn't know what to do, and then you've got this whole boot of the Tassie Devil Virtual Sports. I would have maybe compacted that to like 3 lines of that color. Like maybe, you have the obviously the red and the green be a little bit thicker, and then you have the yellow in the middle, but then you separate them a little bit. and then have it running through. And you can even have it offset; it would have been fine. But having that whole thing like that just is no good. It just looks completely out of place. And then the PPG running to the bottom, no go. Again, if you had it done like that suggestion that I did, just have the three sort of smaller lines, you could have then moved the PPG up here. But yeah, where they are is just no good. And then you should have just used a blank white, the flat white logo. And then yeah, you look at the front and it looks completely different. Like it's yeah, it doesn't know what to do. So on the front, you think, oh, it's going to be nice and simple. And then you look on the sides and you got this on the front, and then you got this on the side, and then you go to the back and you got that. It's like you've combined 4 different liveries and put them all together. And then again, if you're going to paint these sort of on the side here, I've just noticed that the actual window is actually mucked up. I can't remember if that was my stuff up for not putting it in there or not, but yeah, that's on me. And then yeah, you got to paint these struts up here. I think we'll just leave them black, unless you're going to put white logos on here. It just looks out of place. The Logitech logo G on the side, probably you got to make that smaller. And personally, I would have made it white. And same with on the rear wing. You can stretch the Logitech logo wider, and it looks okay. And again, have it white, and it would fit a little bit better. I mean, you can put it white here. Like, why not make that white as well? And then yeah, even if they did something a little bit similar to this, although it looks like it's not been done properly, you got clipping down there and it's running through here the colors. Like if they just had the TDVS and they just had the colors just above it, like that would have been okay instead of just a massive slab. Painted the headlights at least. Look, it's not the worst, but it's just it's got a case of we don't know which design we want to get. Actually, hold on. Is that a different? I think is that. No, I think it's just the shading. I was going to say it looks like there's 2 different shades of blue, but I think it's just the way the lighting interacts with the front, and then with the bonnet differently. But it just didn't know what to do. Like it couldn't keep a consistent design. All right, now I painted this livery many years ago. I can't remember, 2020, I think. Or no, maybe even before that. It was the year I stopped racing full time in supercars. It was like 2018 or 19. So it's a long time ago, and I am going to criticize bits and pieces of it. So it was a replica of a livery for an Aston Martin. It was a design. It's on Google if you just look Valley Italia liveries or something. Now, I like the back of this car here and the black with the skirting. But in hindsight, obviously I was trying to recreate the sides of the car. I definitely would have made all these logos along the side smaller so they fit on the skirt. This green down here and this here, this green here I definitely think I'd get rid of. The front here and here I'd keep. It's a bit wonky here because I can't remember if I was trying to match the wall arch or not. I'm not sure if I'd keep these lines here. But probably would have to in the end, just to keep something there. Back end's a bit simple. Haven't quite followed the lines on the boot as well as what I should. And I'm trying to think if that's an error, if that's just shading down there. And then I do like it from the front. I know I'm biased because I painted it, but from the front I do like it. And then the roof with the numbers. I did have to manually fix the numbers up there before. But not bad. I like the colours. I like the front, but the sides, in hindsight, could definitely be better. And same with the logos down here. Could have added 1 or 2 more logos on it as well on the front, but what of it. All right. Well, yes, it is a Pirelli on or Pirelli sponsorship on Dunlops, but teams have been sponsored in the past. Looking at Holden Racing Team that have had Bridgestone, and I'm pretty sure there's Brad Jones or someone that's sponsored by Goodyear. It's just, and it would have Pirellis on it. The original livery did have Pirellis on it, and it made everyone else have Pirellis as well. So that's why it's not there. All right, onto these designs that are a straight rip from Phil Hughes. Not Phil Hughes, Peter Hughes. Phil Hughes is dead. Rest in peace. Obviously plastered with Penrite logos and Auto One and the like. There you go. There's your Penrite. I have seen this concept livery. It's for obviously the dealer team, I'm pretty sure. And I'll be honest, I wasn't a fan of the concept livery. Obviously, it's been recreated fairly well. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of the concept, and thankfully in real life it didn't get used. Definitely left field in terms of its design. A few of the things I'd change: that Peter Hughes Motorsport Art logo needs to be moved down. Just make it. It might be central on the actual door, but it doesn't look central because of the design on it. So move it a little bit further down, and that way you'd have more clearance up here as well. The Johnny Walker is difficult to read. The Walkinshaw Performance logo probably too big. Whatever this is, like the peace sign, peace, too big. Make it smaller. PBF Driver Academy logo, way too big. You should not have anything clipping over this little scallop in the sort of bumper. MCM pen logo's too big. Guide logo too big. Littles too big. What else? The Stratco on the back needs to be moved closer to the top. The gurney flap on the rear wing, I would have painted that black. Yeah, it does look like it was painted in paint.net. That's for sure. But it's not the worst. It's different. I don't mind it. One thing I would like to have seen, though, that I think would have elevated this livery is if the black was matte. Because that way you've got the orange that is, let's say, just a regular glossy sort of paint look. You've got the silver, reflective chrome look. And then you've got the matte. It would have just popped. And then obviously the logo's in their own sort of, semi-gloss matte sort of look. See if we can find some errors with it. It's not too many outside the logos. And of course there's puppies on it, so... Probably the PBF here needs to be made smaller or just moved up as well. And fuck, I'm going to be tired in the morning. But anyway, too many Penrite logos for starters, that's for sure. But yeah, not too bad. I'll move on to the next one. Obviously, all these liveries that I'm sure Rhodey's going to do, because I'm sure he's got a plans of 20 million Peter Hughes concept designs that he's going to use. This is very reminiscent, obviously, of the Mega Fuels, albeit with different sponsors on it. I do like the look of this much better than the actual liveries that were used in Mega Fuels and the colours. The Johnny Walker, thankfully you can see a little bit more. I think, pardon me, just got the hiccups. What would make the this logo up here, this RV logo, you cannot read it. If there's a white livery, also not white, an all white version of that logo, I'd be using that because you cannot read it, even when it's upscaled. It's a difficult with it being sort of grey with blue behind it and black. It's difficult to sort of make out. Logos again are just too big. and the spacing. Like the Walkinshaw, you can make a little bit smaller. The Adelaide, you can make a little bit smaller. The PBF, you make a little bit smaller, and then it just looks all more appropriately placed and spaced. Well, when you look at it here, and it's just a big slab of just different logos. And then again, like on the back, the pen, I would have made them smaller and then put them in here. You could have put them there. Same with laser, would make them a little bit smaller. And yeah, that's a good point there, Rossi. That's a good point that hold on. Yeah, it is a bit of a clash, PBF and Walkinshaw. The Auto 1 on the rear wing needs to be brought up a little bit. Fuck's sake. I've lost chat here, so I do apologise. The Johnny Walker here on the back needs to be made a little bit smaller. And then Sim Magic probably needs to be made a little bit smaller as well. Stratco on the sides needs to be moved up and made a little bit smaller. But again, for the most part, pretty good. I don't mind that. Albeit, these logos here on the front are very difficult to sort of see. This Adelaide, South Australia bit maybe need to be... You can keep the South Australia logo coloured, but then have the Adelaide darker. And then, yeah, the Stratco here needs to be moved further back. Alright, on to the next one. Again, I've lost live chat because my OBS is being retarded. So I do apologise. Obviously, the Xbox livery from 2013, but with PlayStation on it. I did like the base livery in real life. I did like the livery in real life, albeit that I think the headlights are a bit iffy on for me. But this line down here is wonk as fuck. It just doesn't fit like the Xbox one did. And then you got bits and pieces here and there that don't quite work out. The Fanatec gets in white, just gets difficult to see from a distance. Red Bull would, unless you're selling their blue can drink, I can't remember which one it is. They're not going to allow you to do that with their logo. It also looks a little bit warped up here as well. It needs to be a little bit smaller and probably lower. The Gran Turismo logo needs to be smaller because it just clips over, or it doesn't quite clip, but it looks like it does. The blue grill, no. No. Just, if you painted the backing, maybe it would have been okay, but the blue grill, nah, not much of a fan. PlayStation on the front bar, probably make it a smidge smaller. And then again, Red Bull aren't going to like that. The PlayStation logo right in the middle there, just nah. You should have used here the smaller PlayStation, just the badge, the PS bit. You could put them either side of the lights and camera here, and then you could have a little bit. You could then put PlayStation, a longer PlayStation underneath, or you just have that PlayStation sort of style, and then just put it either side. But like that, no. I'm pretty sure if someone asked you to wrap a logo like that, PlayStation would see that and go, no, get it off the car. Probably would have been helped as well, I think, if you'd made the black matte as well, just to make it sort of pop a little bit more. And then maybe added some speckle or something as well, just like the real Xbox car. The lines on this aren't particularly great. Like, look at that. Like, that's pretty... There's no excuse on the VF for this stuff. That just doesn't line up. And it's just too wide. Just not quite right there. And, yeah, it's got edges on that which shouldn't be there. And it's uneven between the edge of the black and the start of the white there. And I don't know if that's intentional or if it's like that on the real car, but yeah, even that cuts away at the top there. So yeah, not the worst, but definitely room for improvement on that one. A couple more to go. Again, can't see the live chat. I'll try and bring it up on my YouTube, that way I can see it that way. Just one moment, please. History. Here we go. All right, so I will be a little bit behind on the live chat, but I haven't been keeping up with it much anyway. Now, yeah, look, the color on this is not great, I'll be honest. So, and it is pixelated AF, but, geez, where do I start? So, color could be a bit better. I would have painted like I would have painted the skirt on it just to make it look a little bit, give it a slightly better shape. And maybe give it like an actual sort of silver fern instead of just the outline and have it in white kind of thing. The old Datsun logo is a nice touch, but needed to be a little bit higher res and bigger. The aspect ratio on the ASR logo is nice, but again, that's right where the camera is, so it's all chopped out. Should have just make that smaller and put it either side of the rain light. Play distribution logo would have made that a little bit smaller as well. It's even clipping across the bottom. Power base. With that logo, it's difficult, but again, it needs to be brought up. You can only really see the top half of it. Got old buzz on the roof. A lot of pixels, so lower. Oh, geez, that play distribution logo on the front has definitely been color picked, and doesn't look particularly great. I do like how you put Datsun instead of Nissan on here. That's a nice touch, but yeah, certainly not everyone's cup of tea, that shade of purple pink. Yeah, I'm just grateful that the grille wasn't painted as well. It was just chrome. Maybe to break it up, could have had the black in matte as well. Maybe. But yeah, that color is, I think I'm blind. Here's the orange version. The orange version isn't as bad on the eyes, but still has the same problem of pixels. On the fern. Do you like the Jägermeister on the roof? Can't really do much with the Nissan bonnet. It's just the shape. Again, still got the pixels on the play distribution. And the Eden tires. Yeah. And again, it's the same. It's the same livery, just pretty much with different colors and Jägermeister on the roof. All right, on to Yon Motorsport. Pretty much a carbon copy from last year's livery, albeit on a Nissan this time. Again, nice to see an actual helmet on here. From the front, I actually don't mind it. We see someone's actually painted the Nissan grille, which has been paintable since last season. And it sort of fits. The Nissan Nismo on the banners the Nismo can be a bit difficult to see, but it's something different. Nice, gone with the mint colors on the headlights as well, which is good. Logos aren't oversized on the front, albeit the Mobile. Mobile's not too bad. Could maybe be a little bit wider and a smidge shorter. Only problem you get maybe with the liveries when you get to the side. But again, this is just a copy from last year's. Probably would have utilized more white. Obviously, the pink reverse 99 and Mobile wouldn't allow that for starters. I think if you just use a white logo for those, like you've done down here, it would have been fine. Probably need to resize the Ebro logo. It needs to be smaller. And obviously, in real life, it's easier to put a logo down here and not have it warp, but pretty easy to do, unfortunately, in the sim. Dunlop logo probably needs to be a bit smaller on the back end. It needs to line up along here a little bit better. And then again, just like the darker pink logos, like I'm see what's trying to happen, but you just can't read it. It needs maybe the darker pinks up here to be an even darker, like completely matte or chrome or something to just make it pop a little bit more, or even just a different shade. And the YJYM logo here can get drowned. The mint on the pink can get drowned out a little bit too, but like you're trying to keep the same theme, which is why I can see you doing that. So it's not too bad. But then this girls band logo, you just can't see it. You need to use just if there's a basic version of that logo and have it white, you could see it. But you just good luck seeing that. Same with the mobile. Like they're gonna kill you for having that in pink. But if that's just in all white, it'll be alright. And then Yonju you probably just have that in all white or something on the rear wing, so it's seeable. But the front of it, I do like the front. And the side, again, like the colors are nice. It's just some of the logos need to be more seeable. There is an alternate for that car. I think it's the only alternate off memory. Let me just double check, which is the last one. Yeah, so this is it just in black. So it's got the same black and then it's just black on the sides. And you can see like the logos just stand out a lot better here. So yeah, same design but with just more mint and black, which isn't bad. And looking at it, probably may need the Sparko logo to be a little bit smaller. I have noticed, I think there's one or two people that do have driver equipment that have, let's say, racing brands on their cars. And then, again, they've done my pet hate of then having, like, a Puma race suit or a OMP racing suit. But, yeah, not too bad. I don't mind these. It just needs to have some of the logos stand out a bit more. But I think that is it. I'll just double check. Gone through them all. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Let me just... Oh, my Ford Focus entry. Okay, just 1 second here. Let me just... I'll bring it up. So... where is it? Where is it? I do believe as well, Rossi, that you've also got an entry. If you do check the Excel document, I did see it. You've entered a Colorado. So don't forget to share that as well at some point. Where is this image? Do apologize. I'm having to do a real deep dive here to try and find this. Oh, I found it. I have found it. This is... Oh, I've got to zoom out as much as I can here. The number plate has changed, thankfully, so you guys can't track me down. But I found the entry, my entry into Super 3. This is it. This thing, it's gonna beat some people out there. Absolute mobile. Like this thing, it's got the dock. It's got as much downforce as the Gen 3 cars. It's also half the weight. And it's on worse tyres. But it's still a beast. So you just look out, Super 3. Just look out, Super 3. You're getting done. You're getting cooked. Let him cook. Um, all right. I'm gonna head off. It's fucking 11. Well, 11:40. I'm gonna be wrecked in the morning, and I did want to have a fairly early night. So anyway, but I also want to get this done. So thanks everyone for tuning in. I wasn't overly harsh. I didn't rip too many people to shreds outside of a lot of pixels. Um, I know a lot of people, some people say, oh, the delivery quality's gotten better and it's the best it's ever been. I'll actually be honest, I don't think it has. I think the peak was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, like the Dev Series combined with the supercars as well as Enduro Cup. I think 2022, 2021, sort of that period, as well as retro round 2. I think that was the peak. I think there has been a bit of drop off with some interesting designs and stuff like that. So hopefully, as the year goes on and some alternates get submitted, that we get some great ones out there. I'll do a supercars one of these at some point, maybe during the week if I get time. So yeah, let's hope that some of these alternates end up being pretty good, and some of you guys stop clashing with logos and and stuff like that. But